The bold and the beautiful scoop for Friday, December 5th reveals everyone will be worried about Eric Forrester after he was rejected by his son. Also coming up, Ridge Forrester will remain confident he made the right decision. Plus, Steffy Forrester will discuss her grandfather with John Finnegan. B&B spoilers tease Steffy will talk about her connection to her grandfather. She'll tell Finn that Eric has always been there for her, and she's not sure what she'd do if anything should happen to him. Of course, the last time the Forrester patriarch went through a medical crisis, Steffy's hunky husband discovered a way to save him. So, what will be Eric's current health problem? And can it be miraculously solved by Finn once again? Meanwhile, Ridge may feel a little bad for breaking his father's heart, but he won't regret it. On Thursday's B&B, Eric enthusiastically offered to work with Ridge on the couture line. However, instead of even considering it, Ridge flatly rejected his father's idea and told him he needed to retire. Then he walked out on him and ranted to Brooke Forrester about his conversation with Eric. When Brooke pushed back a little, he defended his decision to basically put Eric out to pasture. Finally, not everyone will agree with Ridge's choice to push Eric out of the fashion house. Donna Forrester certainly won't. But why will everyone suddenly be worried about Eric's well-being? Is he going to have another medical episode? Stay tuned! Hey B&B fans! Harus? Are you enjoying the latest CBS Sudzer Beyond the Gates? Then make sure you join our free Facebook group. Keep reading the Soap Scoop, your source for the latest soap opera spoilers and B&B spoilers and news. And make sure to also join our B&B Facebook group. But if you miss an episode, don't fret. You can watch The Bold and the Beautiful online at cbs.com. Katie and Bill are one of B&B's super couples. For 16 years, Bill and Katie have been entertaining The Bold and the Beautiful and with a failure. Their emotional love story. There's no denying that Heather Tom and Don Diamant's sizzling chemistry is what makes Beatty so popular. And as Tom explains, that type of chemistry isn't forced. Chemistry plays an important role in creating soap opera couples. If fans sense that physical and emotional connection, then they're going to root for the lovebirds. That's one of the reasons why Bill and Katie are popular with B&B viewers. Whenever Tom and Diamant are in a scene together, viewers can feel the bond between them, and their bond is just as strong off-screen as it is on-screen. In an interview with People, Tom calls Diamant her family and says they have a truthful relationship. The stars initially worked together on Y&R, where a romance was teased between their characters, Victoria and Brad. Even though they had great chemistry, Victoria and Brad never became a couple during Tom's run. However, when they reunited on B&B, Tom and Diamant finally got a chance to play a couple. Much like with Victoria and Brad, Katie and Bill proved to have incredible chemistry. And according to Tom, it's something that comes natural to her and Diamant. Sometimes I feel like you can certainly create chemistry and play it, but a lot of times it's just there, the actress explained. Tom calls her chemistry with Diamant organic and says she was all for a Bati romance when the idea was pitched. So when he joined the show, I was just like, okay, put me with Donald. We work really well together. Try us together, she recalled. Like many B&B couples, Bill and Katie have faced their share of problems, most of which have split them. But Beatty fans are rejoicing because the couple recently reunited. Will's situation with Luna was a driving force in bringing Bati together. Now that Luna's gone, the couple is ready to focus on their future, but Bill's plans for the future might cause issues between Katie and her family. Feeling frustrated and underappreciated at work, Bill offered Katie the opportunity to come to Spencer Publications. With Katie possibly moving to Spencer, it'll upset her sisters, Brooke and Donna. While her family's been supportive of Katie's reunion with Bill, the Logan sisters might change their tune after Bill's latest stunt. On the Thursday, December 4th, 2025, episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Deacon has a new therapy session with Taylor. Sheila tried bonding with Deke, and Eric begged to Ridge to welcome him back to the design team. Eric didn't think there was a better team in fashion than he and Ridge. He wanted to come back to the design team and help his son take the couture line to the next level. Eric was thrilled to climb on board, but Ridge didn't think he was ready for the responsibility. Being back in the weeds wasn't a place where he felt Eric would still thrive. Ridge reminded him of how big a toll his final line took on Eric, so he didn't think it was a good idea. Eric shouted at Ridge and said, "You can't possibly know what it feels like for me to be standing in this room like this right now." Ridge asked if his father remembered what it was like. He didn't think his father could handle the sleepless nights and high levels of stress. Eric didn't need to be told what to do, but Ridge didn't budge. He told Eric that the work was covered, and he took over the company as Eric had previously asked him to. He got another text alert, and sadly for Eric, Ridge had to leave this time. Brooke and Donna looked over the latest designs, and Brooke was certain Ridge had another massive success on his hands. Donna recognized the beauty of the sketches, and she compared some of them to Eric's previous work. Brooke thought it was absurd that Eric felt slighted by Ridge, but Donna used their latest interaction as an example of the behavior. All she wanted was for Ridge to at least hear Eric out. Brooke wouldn't deny the legacy left by Eric, but Donna pointed out that they spoke about Eric as if he were already gone. In reality, he was still very much present and wanted to be a bigger part of the company. She asked Donna to sit down so they could have a rational discussion about Eric returning to Forrester. Brooke ran down the list of things they'd been able to enjoy since he took a step back. Donna knew the toll it took on him, but she knew Eric wouldn't remain happy as a figurehead with no real place at the company. Deke stopped by Il Giardino and discussed his experience so far working as a Forrester designer. He knew he was under a trial period, but he enjoyed the work so far. Sheila tried to bond a bit with Deke, asking about his time and putting in extra effort to be a doting stepmother. Sheila praised Deke's ambition and likened it to his father's. She reminded him that he was surrounded by the best of the best at Forrester, which he knew, but he wanted to carve his own niche. Deacon left for an appointment, leaving Deke and Sheila alone without him as a buffer. She noticed Deke getting up to take off as well, so she asked him to stay so they could get better acquainted. He tried to come up with a valid excuse so he could avoid bonding with his stepmonster, but she insisted. She admitted that her past was iffy, but she welcomed the opportunity to prove to him that she had truly changed. She droned on about her love for Deacon, and she wished Deke would embrace their marriage the way she did. Deke questioned why there was a recurring theme in his life that people claimed had changed when he didn't think they had. Sheila claimed that she wanted a simple life with Deacon. However, she couldn't deny that she desired to be embraced and accepted by Hope and Deke. She referred to herself as his family, which left the young designer a bit shaken. Sheila expressed her excitement to Deke about Hope and Liam's wedding. She hoped that the ceremony would serve as a proving ground for herself and their family. She wanted to arrive at the wedding on Deacon's arm and send a message to everyone that they were once again a united front. Deacon arrived at his latest therapy session with Taylor, and she was excited to see him. She enjoyed the work, helping him through his unresolved issues. She asked how his Thanksgiving went and assumed that Hope and Deke avoided Sheila at all costs. He thought Deke was giving it a solid attempt at making peace, but they still had a long way to go. Deacon explained to Taylor that Sheila gave her all of the credit for bringing them back together, and she was eternally grateful for the guidance. Taylor rejected the idea that she deserved credit for the couple's reunion, but Deacon saw things differently. She told him she was happy for the pair and asked him whether he considered that his wife would never be accepted by his children. He worried that his kids would never move past the fact that Sheila kept the truth about Luna from everyone. Deacon knew that, with the wedding coming up, there was a possibility that Sheila would be excluded. He didn't think she'd get an invitation, which would leave his wife devastated. In the showroom, Brooke asked for an update on the conversation between Eric and Ridge, and they had similar conversations. Ridge wasn't convinced that Eric had a real desire to return, and he was acting more out of habit than burning passion. He didn't want to put him in the ground, and he thought his last collection was a stunning swan song. Alone in the office, Eric reflected on the choice before him. He didn't want to leave. She wanted to stay at Forrester and continue crafting his legacy. He looked through the desk and found an old photo of himself and Stephanie, and then he looked at other pictures of his family from throughout the years. Worries about Eric take over Los Angeles as Steffy shares the history and heart behind her bond with her grandfather. Drama and emotion collide on Friday's episode. The Bold and the Beautiful's must-watch moments for Friday, December 5th include health concerns for Eric, which cause great worry. Plus, Steffy tells Finn all about her close relationship with her grandpa. It's going to be a day filled with drama in Los Angeles. Donna stunned everyone when she gave them an update about Eric. It seemed he wanted to take on a bigger role at Forrester Creations. Eric was tired of merely serving as the company's mascot. He even had some words about Ridge's latest designs. Eric certainly wasn't bowled over by them, which, of course, didn't sit well with Ridge or Brooke. It wasn't all that long ago that Ridge and Eric had the fashion showdown. Of course, that happened when everyone thought Eric was dying. Steffy has taken on additional responsibilities at Forrester alongside Ridge, as Eric has stepped back. She learned a great deal from her grandpa. Of course, she misses him having a more active role in the company, but Steffy likely realizes Eric should enjoy his sunset years. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say there's a very good chance that there's going to be another Bill Spencer and Ridge Forrester battle coming our way. And apparently, this all has to do with Katie Logan feeling underappreciated again. That's because she's going to feel upset because the now global company didn't wait to handle damage control. Not only that, but her putting her personal feelings over her idea being rejected is the exact reason why she shouldn't be back at work. Talk about a lot of emotions, right? Bill is most likely going to fight for Katie, while Ridge is going to want to keep her where she is. Or so we think. Clearly, The Bold and the Beautiful viewers had a lot to say about the matter on social media. Some even commented with, "Of course, in the real world, people know that crisis PR and regular PR are actually different and require different skills." So it would have probably been Katie's suggestion to get the crisis PR team while she continues doing her day-to-day job. But this is the soap. So now we have a Forrester underappreciating Katie storyline that I doubt anyone wants. Another critic of the show wrote, "From a business, employer-employee perspective, I don't think anything is really wrong here. Hiring people who specialize in this kind of PR seems reasonable, especially since it seems like Katie had asked for time off, and no one seemed to know she was planning on coming in to work on this." And then there was this comment as well. "I don't disagree with everything, except I do think Ridge and Brooke were dismissive of Katie. It is the Carter thing over again, but hopefully it is the way the Carter thing should have turned out with Bill opening a competing fashion house. Ridge and Bill power play I like. Let's do it." Then again, B&B fans will simply have to tune in each and every day to find out what will happen next. The Bold and the Beautiful airs weekdays on the CBS network. Check your local listings for times. In the meantime, drop us a line with your thoughts in our comments section below. The Logan sisters could find themselves on the outs. Tensions are high at Forrester Creations. Katie feels uncertain about her job, which could create tension among the Logan sisters on The Bold and the Beautiful. Katie feels like the odd woman out at work lately. She told Bill that her ideas have been shot down. Additionally, Ridge hired a crisis management team to handle the news of Luna's death. Katie is fine with that decision since she's too close to the situation, but she would have liked to be informed on the matter. Bill showed up on Wednesday's episode to defend Katie's honor, which ruffled Ridge's feathers. He spoke on her behalf. Bill chastised Ridge and Brooke for hiring an outside PR firm. He called them out for disrespecting his love. But Ridge wanted to hear these words from Katie's mouth. She admitted that she's kind of felt this way for a while now, and Ridge assured her that he admired the work that she does for their company. Meanwhile, in the showroom, Brooke and Donna were disagreeing over Eric's case to return to work. He wants to get back to what he loves doing, which is designing beautiful couture gowns. Donna argued that Ridge isn't as concerned with Eric's legacy. She believed that her husband should be involved with his company. After all, he wants to be a designer again. He doesn't want to sit on the sidelines. Donna mentioned the times when Eric spent most of his time sketching at home. He wants to join the couture design team. Brooke fears that Eric will feel the pressure. This scene showed that Brooke and Donna are already butting heads when it comes to Eric. She could reignite a new feud among the Logans. Brooke has shot down her ideas. She fears that her sister could be upset with her. Donna is always the supportive sister in these situations. It's likely that she will side with Katie when it comes to her job. Meanwhile, Brooke will be siding with Ridge because she wants to stay on his good side. The bold and the beautiful spoilers hint that Carter Walton might need a romantic reboot eventually. There are at least 4 love interest options to consider if Carter's Daphne Rose pairing flops, so let's talk about his current situation. Carter wants a relationship with Daphne at the moment, but she's making him work for it. In the coming episodes, Carter will continue to flirt with Daphne and perhaps throw in some grand gestures to prove he's serious about the road they're headed down. However, it doesn't seem like Daphne and Carter have a lot of pizzazz as a pairing. Carter and Daphne may not have what it takes to go the distance as a romantic duo, so it never hurts to mull over some other love interest possibilities. With that in mind, let's consider 4 women who could shake things up for Carter somewhere down the line. 1. Ivy Forrester is single and could perhaps find herself looking for love again soon. Maybe watching Liam Spencer and Hope Logan tie the knot will make Ivy long for what they have. Ivy understood when Liam rejected her for Hope, but she deserves to find some happiness of her own. If Carter's romance with Daphne falls apart, Ivy might be a good option for him. 2. Poppy. Poppy Nozawa doesn't have much to do now that Luna Nozawa is gone, so giving her a romance would offer more material to work with. In the past, some fans were rooting for B&B to try pairing Carter and Poppy, so maybe the show will finally go for it at some point. 3. Zoe. Another fun option might be if Zoe Buckingham returns to the canvas. Whether Kiara Barnes reprises the role or a Zoe recast pops up instead, she could be a good character to resurface as a love interest for Carter. That's especially true if Zoe concealed a pregnancy from Carter and perhaps comes bopping back into town with his child after all this time. 4. A brand new character. Of course, it's also possible Carter could fall for a brand new character if B&B decides to bring one on for him. Since fall preview info suggested someone from Daphne's past might resurface, it'd be interesting if her sister came to Los Angeles and kicked off a love triangle with Carter. Whatever the case, Daphne and Carter aren't exactly a super couple in the making. There's nothing all that special about this pairing, so should the show try something else when it comes to Carter's romantic future? The bold and the beautiful spoilers say there's more love life news to come for Carter, so we'll pass along updates on his next chapter, The Bold and the Beautiful. Winter spoilers hint that things will certainly heat up as the weather cools down. Eric Forrester's health becomes an issue. Taylor Hayes and Deacon Sharp face temptation. Steffy Forrester and John Finnegan's relationship is put to the test. Eric and Ridge Forrester will clash over Forrester creations, especially after the fallout from Luna Nozawa's death. Forrester is constantly being brought up along with Luna, and that bad publicity is not helping the company at all. Ridge and Eric will certainly clash over how to deal with this. However, Donna Forrester will open up to Brooke about Eric's health, and everyone will be concerned. Finn and Bridget Forrester managed to save him last time, but can they pull Eric through another health crisis? Will Eric survive whatever is going on with his health this time? Deacon will continue to have sessions with Taylor, even though he has gone back to his wife. Sheila believes that Taylor saved her marriage to Deacon. Sheila has no idea that Deacon and Taylor have a much bigger connection than she knows. After all, Deacon and Taylor have been close since before she was found in the warehouse. Deacon and Taylor have a very hard time keeping their relationship professional when they keep getting closer on a personal level. Deacon has true feelings for Taylor, and Taylor is beginning to become very attracted to him as well. Will Deacon and Taylor hit the sheets before he and Sheila Sharp split? Will Sheila make good on her threats against Taylor? Steffy and Finn have had issues over his birth family from day one of their marriage. Finn was adopted and had always wanted a connection with his birth mother. However, when it came out that Sheila was his mom, Steffy and the whole Forrester family demanded he stay away from Sheila. Finn never got a chance to know her, and of course later, Sheila shot them. Now that Luna has been killed, Steffy and Finn will have issues again because he never got to know his daughter and wasn't allowed around her either. Luna's death is also interfering with Forrester creations as well. Can Finn and Steffy's marriage stand the stress of the fallout caused by Luna's death? Will their marriage ever be the same? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers and updates indicate that 6 significant story developments are approaching this December, so here's what fans of B&B can anticipate. There's plenty to be excited about in the upcoming weeks, particularly in terms of romance. As Taylor Hayes and Deacon Sharp find themselves teetering on the brink of an intense chemistry explosion, it raises serious concerns for Deacon's marriage to Sheila Sharp. Is there a possibility that Deacon might not only kiss Taylor, but also take their relationship to the next level by spending the night together? And if that were to happen, how would Sheila react when she discovers her husband's betrayal with the capable doctor? Will her redemption go backwards? It's bound to unleash a torrent of fury from her side. Might Sheila turn back into the murderer she once was? The long-awaited wedding day for Hope Logan and Liam Spencer is finally on the horizon. Without a doubt, Liam and Hope are set to exchange their vows, but it seems there may be a few unexpected bumps along the way. This could happen either before they say "I do" or possibly during the reception. Could Sheila stir up trouble during the celebrations, or might there be other obstacles that jeopardize the couple's special day? Nevertheless, as Christmas draws near, it is certain that Hope and Liam will indeed become husband and wife. In the interim, Katie Logan finds herself at a crucial crossroads regarding her future, having been pressed into making a major career decision. It appears that Katie is leaning toward officially accepting Bill Spencer's enticing offer to join Spencer Publications. Additionally, there are hints that Bill may soon be contemplating remarrying, as the spoilers for B&B suggest that he is ready to embark on a fresh journey with Katie. Bill has tried several times previously to get Katie to take him back, but because she's been hurt so much in the past, she's been very hesitant. Should there be a marriage proposal on the horizon, this would present yet another significant decision for Katie to consider thoughtfully. Daphne Rose is set to reveal more of her emotions as she takes a significant step forward in her relationship with Carter Walton. Carter is bound to be overjoyed by this development, but could there be a looming shadow threatening their budding romance? Given that the fall preview information suggested the possibility of someone from Daphne's past causing turmoil, this complication may still be on the horizon unless the storyline has been completely abandoned. Daphne has always had a mysterious air about her, and apparently her good friend Steffy Forrester is unaware about this part of her past. Sadly, Eric Forrester may face health challenges that could dampen the festive spirit of this holiday season. As of now, it remains uncertain if he has experienced a regression following his previous life-saving heart procedure or if he is dealing with a completely new medical issue. There are likely to be worries regarding Eric's recent health setback. However, let us remain optimistic that some uplifting news will emerge soon. In the meantime, Eric and Ridge Forrester will clash about Ridge's insistence Eric should slow down. But at least, this time, Eric isn't keeping his health problems a secret like he did the last time, apparently, because everyone worries about Eric. At long last, Thomas Forrester is set to return home for the Christmas festivities. This presents him with a wonderful opportunity to reconnect with his family and friends, including Eric, Taylor, Ridge, and Steffy, along with all his other cherished loved ones. Naturally, fans can also expect updates on Thomas's romantic endeavors and what he has been up to when the cameras aren't rolling. Has Thomas managed to mend his relationship with Paris Buckingham, or has he perhaps found a new love interest? According to the spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, viewers can look forward to some exciting scenes this December, so make sure to stay tuned. The Bold and the Beautiful spoiler reveal that Eric Forrester will challenge Ridge Forrester in a big way. Now that Ridge is trying to make Eric retire again, will Eric open another fashion house to go up against Ridge and put him in his place? Eric wants to do nothing but design with his son at Forrester Creations until he cannot work any longer. Unfortunately, Ridge wants Eric to step back and retire. Eric should be enjoying his life now that he and Donna Logan are married. Should Eric be allowed to keep designing for his company until he can no longer work? Ridge's refusal makes Eric more determined to prove his point. Ridge wants no part of Eric being at Forrester. Ridge wants to continue to be CEO of Forrester and not have to worry about sharing the couture line at Forrester. Ridge doesn't need Eric to come in, and shake things up for him. Ridge claims to be handling things just fine. Thanks to the head writer's look ahead, fall spoilers have pointed to a new fashion house rising up to compete with Forrester Creations. Could Eric be the one who opens up a new fashion house because Ridge refuses to let him design at his own building? Should fans be prepared for another father and son showdown? Eric obviously has Donna's support when it comes to continuing his career. Brooke Logan has taken Ridge's side on this. Eric may decide that he has to do things his way since his son has pushed him away. Will Eric decide that Ridge needs to be taught a lesson by showing him up in his comeback show? Eric has a few people that could and would side with him against Ridge. Zendi Forrester has been overlooked, so he could easily be lured away from hope for the future. Thomas Forrester's life has been turned upside down again, so he would probably join Eric as well. Since we have already had a dueling designer competition at Forrester, perhaps it is time for a full fashion house rivalry. Will Eric open up his own fashion house and begin a war with Forrester Creations? Spoilers suggest that this war may spiral out of control. Will the fashion house showdown finally prove who the better designer is? The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for Friday, December 5th, 2025, reveal all eyes on Eric as everyone is worried about what horrible thing might happen next. Eric Forrester is acting almost exactly as he did 2 years ago, when he knew he had a mysterious, fatal disease, whose main symptom was coughing up blood and a lot of nosebleeds. Eric was feeling worthless then, and had to prove himself as a premier designer with a final line. Well, Eric decided a repeat performance would be good, except this time he wants to be on the Forrester Creations design team and to design another line with Ridge Forrester and not challenge him to a fashion showdown. Ridge has firmly told his father no, because he doesn't want him to wear himself out like he did the last time. However, Eric had a legitimate illness that had nothing to do with his designing clothing. He only wanted to design because of the illness. Ridge, Donna Logan, and Brooke Logan are now concerned that Eric truly does have a health problem again and is not telling anyone. Maybe that is what is causing his sudden need to design again. Donna worries that she might become a widow after all. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Friday's show reveal Steffy Forrester Finnegan is also concerned about her grandfather and doesn't understand this new change in him. She confides in John Finn Finnegan how close she and Eric have always been throughout her life and how grateful she is for how Finn saved him 2 years ago. However, Steffy is also worried that Eric might be sick again. What does Finn know about this disease and the experimental procedure he performed that saved Eric's life? Is there a chance the illness could recur? Finn might have more insight into what is going on with Eric than anyone else. Eric was at death's door 2 years ago, and only a miracle saved him. Maybe that miracle is about to run its course. This week on The Bold and the Beautiful, an old rivalry will be revisited when Bill Spencer pays Ridge Forrester a visit. Dollar Bill has an axe to grind with his old nemesis, and someone is going to pay for hurting his Katie's feelings at Forrester Creations. Here's what's coming up on B&B, spoilers down below. After months of laying down the groundwork, Bill Spencer's dreams came true on the CBS soap, and Katie Logan finally came home. Now that Beatty is back on, Bill is determined to be the best husband he has ever been. When Bill learns that Ridge Forrester brought in a new PR team behind Katie's back and told her to take some time off, his blood will boil. According to Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, Dollar Bill is going to march over to Forrester Creations and confront his wife's boss. Bill and Ridge's truce is falling apart at the seams. Will the men be at war again by New Year's? Bill Spencer is going to freak out on his wife's boss, but he also uses Katie's unemployment to his advantage. Bill wants the Spencer family back together and working at Spencer Publications. Ridge Forrester just made it easy for the Spencers to start poaching his employees. Spoilers say Bill will offer Katie a new position at his publishing company, and probably a generous salary that she can't turn down. If Ridge and Brooke really were just trying to help Katie, their plan has officially backfired. Do you think that Katie Logan is overreacting? Are you excited to see Bill and Ridge face off again? Who are you putting your bets on? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Friday, December 5th, reveal that Steffy Forrester Finnegan will confess to John Finn Finnegan, while Eric Forrester's health sets off alarm bells. Ridge Forrester just shut down Eric's attempt to make a co-designer comeback since he thinks the work would be too much for his dad. Eric is frustrated since he wants to collaborate with Ridge on another couture collection, but his son's lack of support is a roadblock. On Friday's B&B episode, there'll be more concerns about Eric's health status. Eric faced a serious illness that nearly put him in the grave, so no one wants to see him decline. Multiple characters will voice their fears about Eric overdoing it and the medical risks that could bring. It seems like everyone wants to bubble wrap Eric, but he knows himself and feels like getting back to designing professionally would be the best thing for him. Over with Steffy, she'll make a confession during a deep conversation with Finn. Talk will turn to Eric during this discussion, so Steffy will admit just how much she loves and feels connected to her grandfather. Of course, Steffy will remain forever grateful to Finn for figuring out a treatment that could save Eric's life. Now the goal is to keep Eric healthy and present for his family members as long as possible. Steffy won't know what she'd do without Eric, so she'll open up to Finn about that and hope her granddad's around for many years to come. At some point in the coming episodes, Steffy should get updates on the father-son drama that's erupted between Eric and Ridge. That could motivate Steffy to step up for her family's sake and try to help the two of them reach a compromise. Although Steffy adores Eric and will have similar fears about his health, she may also understand his desire to contribute to the company he built. The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers say troubling news could be ahead for the Forrester clan if all the family issues get worse, so stay tuned. CDL will have other terrific Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, updates, and news, so make us your favorite B&B hotspot. The Logan women have been riding high for a while now on the Bold and the Beautiful. It wasn't long ago that Steffy Forrester was outnumbered by the Logans, or calling in reinforcements. Sadly, we've seen the last of those days for a while. Going into the new year, the Logan women will all be at war with each other on the Bold and the Beautiful. Brooke, Katie, Hope, and Donna will have a lot to fight over in the next few months. Keep reading for all new B&B spoilers and updates. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Katie Logan is hurt that her sister let them replace her at Forrester Creations. Shouldn't your sister being married to Ridge Forrester give you some sort of job security? Meanwhile, this week on the soap, it will be revealed that Eric Forrester has some new health concerns. Eric Forrester and Brooke Logan have always had a complicated relationship. Brooke's romantic past with her father-in-law makes their connection extra creepy. The last time Eric was on his deathbed, he shared an emotional moment with Brooke, and it was clear he was still in love with her. B&B spoilers hint those old feelings could come to the surface again and create some serious tension between Brooke and her sister Donna Logan. Nobody wants to sit at their husband's deathbed and listen to him profess his love for your sister. Hope Logan and her mother have a complicated relationship. Hope always chooses her career and is determined to give Hope for the future the comeback it deserves. If Brooke's hubby's antics at the office when Eric is sick affect her company, she will turn on her mom in the blink of an eye. Are you shocked to see the close-knit Logan sisters fall apart on the Bold and the Beautiful? Share your thoughts in the comments down below, and keep checking back here on Soap Opera Spy for more spoilers and updates. The Bold and the Beautiful is the soap opera who cried wolf when it comes to Luna Nozawa. We lost count of how many times Lisa Yamada bid fans farewell and exited B&B, only to return from prison or the dead a few weeks later. It's no wonder Bold and Beautiful viewers are convinced Luna is still alive, and they are probably right. Here's what's coming up next on the CBS soap. Keep reading for all the details. Lisa Yamada has supposedly left the building, but the actress has toyed with fans so much that nobody is buying her exit. Yamada could tell her social media followers the sky is blue, and we'd still need a fact-checker. The actress enjoys playing up the storylines and keeping fans guessing about her character's fate. Next week, spoilers say Dylan will continue her apology tour and visit Dr. Finn and Steffy Forrester on Thanksgiving. Hayes' art teacher will get emotional as she confesses to them that she's the driver that turned Finn's bio daughter into a pancake. According to B&B spoilers, there will be some discrepancies in Dylan's story, and it won't be long before there are doubts about her confession. Rumors hint Dylan could have been paid off to confess or manipulated by Luna to help her fake her death. Regardless, the art teacher's confession is starting to look suspicious, and is another reason fans think Luna might still be alive. It's also pretty convenient that Luna Nozawa told Will Spencer Jr. she lost the baby right before she died. There was no mention of a miscarriage until 10 minutes before she was hit by a car. If Luna wanted to fake her death, she would have to explain why her dead body didn't have a baby bump. Or is it a coincidence that she lost the baby right before a not pregnant body was found and identified as her? Do you think that Luna Nozawa is really dead? Or is Dylan's confession a little suspicious? The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that John Finn Finnegan told Steffy Forrester Finnegan that he's fine. However, when she wasn't around, the good doctor pressured the police for information on Luna Nozawa's killer. With Dylan feeling guilty, could she end up having a shocking new dynamic with her student's father? Keep reading and let's explore the possibilities. Let's start off with Luna's death. After breaking out of prison, the girl went straight to Will Spencer's new house. Luckily, Electra Forrester was already gone when Luna burst in the door. Once she realized that there was zero chance with Will, and she already lost the baby, all he could do was run. Luna ran and hid, but everyone was closing in on her. Then, she took a chance and leaped out into the road, only to be killed instantly. While many people are relieved that Luna is dead, Finn tried to get information from the police recently. Steffy assured her husband he could open up to her about Luna's death. However, he kept insisting he was just fine. The minute Steffy's back was turned, Finn called the police wanting information. Despite Finn being Luna's bio-dad, Deputy Chief Bradley Baker wouldn't release any intel. Finn is in a complicated situation. The man knows his daughter was a menace to society and very dangerous. The girl even went after Finn's own family and framed Penelope Poppy Nozawa for murder. At the same time, Finn must feel something after Luna's death. Steffy can say all she wants that Finn can open up, but can he really? Steffy despised Luna, so it's understandable why he's keeping his true feelings bottled up. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that in an interesting twist, Dylan told Electra Forrester that she is the one who killed Luna. Electra relayed the information to Will. So, now 2 people know, 3 if you count Baker. Next, Electra and Will are taking Dylan to Steffy and Finn's house. As fans are seeing in today's episode, Dylan tells Sin that she is responsible for Luna's death. While the girl feels guilty, Finn and Steffy likely assure the art teacher that it was a horrible accident. However, with Finn already keeping a secret from Steffy, could he dig himself even deeper into a hole? Finn might want someone to talk to about Luna, someone who didn't despite her. While Dylan was tormented by Luna, she could pretend to be a listening ear. Could this result in Finn cheating on Steffy with the art teacher? The bold and the beautiful spoilers are in for Friday, December 5th, 2025. In tomorrow's episode, everyone worries about Eric Forrester's health. Meanwhile, Steffy Forrester Finnegan opens up to John Finn Finnegan. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start with Eric, who wanted to work on the Couture line with Ridge Forrester. The offer came at a good time, as Ridge really does seem overwhelmed. The man is snapping at everyone and making drastic decisions. However, he rejected Eric's offer. It was a really heartbreaking scene. Meanwhile, Donna Logan Forrester got caught up with Brooke Logan Forrester. Donna was really pushing for Brooke to get Ridge to accept Eric's offer. It seems so important to Donna, almost like Eric's life depends on it. However, Brooke reminded Donna that this is between Eric and Ridge. So first, Brooke doesn't stand up for Katie Logan, and now she's doing it to Donna as well. Maybe Brooke really does put Ridge ahead of everyone else, even her own family. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Friday, December 5th, reveal that Eric is really sad. Ridge told Brooke that it's the end of Eric's career, and that he needs to accept that it's over. Then, we watched Eric sit in his chair at the office, with thoughts about how he can't believe it's over. It is always hard for people to accept it's time to retire. However, it's especially painful when they built that business from scratch. Forrester Creations is Eric's baby. In the next episode, everyone will get worried about Eric's health. Fans know that the last time Eric got really restless, he was dying. While the man's life was saved, He rested and relaxed for several months. However, now he suddenly has the itch to design again. It's understandable that everyone is concerned about Eric's health. However, I think this is more of a storyline about Eric accepting it's time to officially retire. The Forresters will be rallying around a loved one. The Forresters are about to be hit with another health scare on the bold and the beautiful. While many are concerned about the well-being of their beloved patriarch Eric, it's another family member they should be worried about. Another Forrester family feud is brewing, and again, it's Eric and Ridge. Ridge and Brooke feel it's time for Eric to retire and leave the running of Forrester Creations to them. However, the FC founder has made it clear that he's not going anywhere. Eric and Ridge's latest battle is reminiscent of their 2003 feud, during which Eric thought he was dying. With recent spoilers saying the Forresters become concerned about Eric's health, speculation is that the family patriarch faces another medical crisis. However, a fan theory on Reddit suggests a twist in which Ridge is the one who suffers the health crisis. The theory points out recent dialogue that suggests trouble for Ridge. During a heartfelt talk with Ridge, he promised to love Brooke until his dying breath. Then Brooke mentioned Ridge has been stressed about work, and she feared he's becoming burnt out. Many fans seem to agree that something significant will happen to Ridge because of recent events. The dying breath remark struck me as a bellwether, wrote one viewer. Ridge could have a health crisis and not die, but if he were to die, I do wonder who would be next up for Brooke, one fan wrote. Ridge has a lot on his plate with his duties as co-CEO and couture designer. When Eric offered to help, Ridge rejected the offer, which reignited the father-son feud. Aside from work and arguing with his dad, Ridge is also fighting with Bill. Bill, who's trying to woo Katie away from FC to Spencer Publications, is angering Ridge. The feud with Bill and his other added stress isn't good for Ridge. If he's not careful, then he might end up in the hospital with a heart attack or another illness. Having Ridge be the one who's sick would be a shocking twist. Plus, it would open the potential for emotional storytelling as the Forresters gather by his bedside. Will Brooke have to say a final goodbye to her destiny? Will one of the Forresters step up to help Ridge? These are many of the questions that will be asked if Ridge has a medical crisis. Katie and Bill are one of B&B's super couples. For 16 years, Bill and Katie have been entertaining the bold and the beautiful fans with their emotional love story. There's no denying that Heather Tom and Don Diamond's sizzling chemistry is what makes Beatty so popular. And as Tom explains, that type of chemistry isn't forced. Chemistry plays an important role in creating soap opera couples. If fans sense that physical and emotional connection, then they're going to root for the lovebirds. That's one of the reasons why Bill and Katie are popular with B&B viewers. Whenever Tom and Diamond are in a scene together, viewers can feel the bond between them. And their bond is just as strong off-screen as it is on-screen. In an interview with People, Tom calls Diamond her family and says they have a truthful relationship. The stars initially worked together on Y&R, where a romance was teased between their characters, Victoria and Brad. Even though they had great chemistry, Victoria and Brad never became a couple during Tom's run. However, when they reunited on B&B, Tom and Diamond finally got a chance to play a couple. Much like with Victoria and Brad, Katie and Bill proved to have incredible chemistry, and according to Tom, it's something that comes natural to her and Diamond. Sometimes I feel like you can certainly create chemistry and play it, but a lot of times it's just there, the actress explained. Tom calls her chemistry with Diamond organic and says she was all for a Bati romance when the idea was pitched. So when he joined the show, I was just like, okay, put me with Donald. We work really well together. Try us together, she recalled. Like many B&B couples, Bill and Katie have faced their share of problems, most of which have split them. But Beatty fans are rejoicing because the couple recently reunited. Will's situation with Luna was a driving force in bringing Beatty together. Now that Luna's gone, the couple is ready to focus on their future. But Bill's plans for the future might cause issues between Katie and her family. Feeling frustrated and underappreciated at work, Bill offered Katie the opportunity to come to Spencer Publications. With Katie possibly moving to Spencer, it'll upset her sisters, Brooke and Donna, While her family's been supportive of Katie's reunion with Bill, the Logan sisters might change their tune after Bill's latest stunt. The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for the week of December 8th, suggest some curveballs. Fans can expect Katie Logan to make a big decision about her future. Liam Spencer and Hope Logan continue with their wedding plans. Plus, Eric Forrester isn't going to be dismissed by his son. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Eric, who has a conflict with Ridge Forrester. The patriarch offered to help out Ridge at the office. Ridge is wondering what is really going on. Donna Logan Forrester already confided in Brooke Logan Forrester about Eric's new wish. If Eric is still sketching and designing, that doesn't sound like he's ready to retire at all. However, Ridge likes things his own way. The man rejected Eric's help before, and it turned into a showdown. Over with Hope and Liam, they will continue planning their wedding. It is teased that it will happen sometime this month. Beth Spencer told her parents she didn't want Sheila Carter Sharp at the wedding. While Lope understands that, now Hope has to get through to Deacon Sharp. Deacon knows that Sheila shouldn't attend, but the waitress tends to not listen. Plus, Taylor Hayes will likely be at the wedding, so there will be a chance for Deacon and Taylor to get even closer. The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for next week, reveal that Dylan confessed to killing Luna Nozawa. While everyone understands it was an accident, there is something off about that girl. The art teacher keeps repeating that she has never taken a human life before. Dylan says it a bit too often. As for the romance in the soap, Electra Forrester will support Will Spencer. However, Will could have his own big decision to make if Katie leaves Forrester Creations. As for Katie, she seems slated to take Bill Spencer's offer. However, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Katie could run into similar problems at Spencer Publications as she did at Forrester Creations. There should also be some mention of everyone's Christmas plans, so stay tuned. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of December 8th, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. Carter Walton has a new lady in his life. The Bold and the Beautiful is moving forward with the Carter and Daphne romance we all seen coming a mile away. Carter doesn't know anything about Daphne Rose's past, and word on the internet is it's coming to town. Is Carter in danger on Bold and Beautiful? Keep reading to find out. Here's what's coming up next on the daytime soap. Spoilers down below. Daphne the Nose Rose was brought to Los Angeles by her pal Steffy Forrester earlier this year. Originally, Daphne was supposed to seduce Carter for the company, but she ended up actually falling for him. B&B viewers will recall that Carter sent Daphne packing and got engaged to Hope Logan. The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers hint sparks will be flying this week between Carter and Daphne. They'll spend a cute Thanksgiving together. But a few months ago, a blind item hinted someone from Daphne Rose's shady past was headed to Los Angeles. What if that storyline is finally coming to fruition, and the blast from Daphne's past is a dangerous ex? Carter Walton tends to play it safe with his romances on The Bold and the Beautiful. The big coup at Forrester Creations was the craziest thing the character has done in the past decade. He could be in over his head with Daphne Rose and not even know it. A beautiful and mysterious woman like her probably has been involved with some powerful men over the years. Other Bold and the Beautiful rumors hint Daphne could have a secret sister or another relative coming to town. Will they have a bone to pick with Carter? Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for December 8, 12th, 2025, suggest Eric Forrester is enraged and Taylor Hayes being wowed by something. As we always do on Early Edition Day, we start with what's coming the rest of this week, and then we'll talk about what is coming next week. With that in mind, Wednesday, December 3rd, we've got Bill Spencer ranting at Ridge Forrester for how dismissive he and Brooke Logan were to Katie Logan. Interestingly, I saw a bunch of comments on soap social media with people saying that Katie was being extra and kind of dramatic, being so butthurt about this external PR firm, when realistically, she probably shouldn't be handling PR on a matter that's closely involved with her son. Katie feels like Ridge and Brooke are not listening to her or supporting her. And then this external PR firm comes in, and Brooke and Ridge are basically making Katie feel irrelevant. So, Bill may tell Ridge that he's just going to take Katie. I wonder if Brooke and Ridge will actually encourage Katie to go to Spencer Publications, because Ridge was actually talking about Bill being good to Katie right now. So if they tell her, if you want to think about it, I think Katie might get even saltier with them and she might actually go. Later, Donna Logan surprises Brooke. She gives her an update about Eric, and it looks like her honey bear is having some health problems. Of course, Brooke would likely run this news to Ridge if he hasn't already heard it straight from Eric himself. Hopefully, his cancer isn't back, but there are a lot of other things it could be. Honey Bear is not exactly a spring chicken. Thursday, December 4th, we've got Deacon Sharp enjoying some family time with his kids, Hope Logan and Deke Sharp. Of course, Deke and Hope are super happy to be working together, and she's happy that they will both be at her wedding, which is coming in December, by the way. But at the same time, they are very concerned about Deacon, and they really want him to give Sheila Carter the boot. To them, it looks like they completely put their marriage back together. But little do they know, Deacon is of the same mind about giving Sheila the boot and plugging somebody else into his life. However, I don't think he's going to tell his kids he's crushing on Taylor. Deacon might give them some glimmer of possibility if he starts talking up Taylor and about how much he really likes their therapy sessions, how much she's helping him, and how much admiration he has. If he gets really effusive with all those compliments about Taylor, Deke and Hope might start to think, hey, there might be something there. Also on Thursday, Ridge is telling Eric, "You know what, Dad? Go right off into the sunset. Enjoy yourself." With the implication of enjoying the time you have left, Ridge is telling Eric that that's what he'd do if he was in the same position, but Eric is going to snap at Ridge impatiently. I am very worried we're about to get another depressing Eric dying near-death Christmas storyline ahead. That is not a present I want to unwrap. Not at all. Hopefully, that's not what Brad Bell is delivering, but I don't trust him. Things are also going to get really heated with Eric and Ridge. As they continue this conversation, Eric may want to keep pursuing his passion, which is fashion, up until his very dying breath. Hopefully, he's not dying, and it's just some kind of little setback. But I'm guessing that Donna doesn't want Eric to risk his health by continuing to work. All of the Forresters and Logans may unite to pressure Eric to step back. I'm guessing he won't like that. Also, Deacon goes to visit Taylor, and their chemistry keeps growing. It's getting off the charts. Of course, Sheila thinks she and Deacon are solid, but the man wants Taylor, and Deacon is going to try super hard to make it happen. I am cheering for his efforts. Friday, December 5th on Bold and the Beautiful, we've got Steffy Forrester opening up to Finn Finnegan about this very deep connection that she and her granddad Eric share. So it sounds like by now that Steffy also knows that Eric is having some kind of medical issue, health crisis, and Steffi's very worried about her granddad's health. We'll see if he's being seen up at the hospital. Finn's not going to violate HIPAA to tell her things, but we'll find out. Eric's also one to go to hospitals off-screen. We've seen that when he was going through the cancer crisis. Finally, they brought one doctor to the house, and then late stage we had Bridget Forrester and Finn taking care of him and getting the miracle cure. So Finn should definitely be a consultant on this, since he saved Eric's life before. And maybe that's what Steffy is asking. Can you look into this? Can you save my granddad? As a matter of fact, everybody is concerned about Eric's health issues by the end of this week, so I think Brooke is going to agree with Ridge that Eric needs to take a step back and focus on his health. Donna obviously wants to support Eric, but also wants him to take care of himself, and she wants to take care of him. Steffy is probably going to agree with her dad, Ridge, but if everybody is lining up with concern and compassion, Eric may still dig in his heels and think that they just want him out because he's the old guard. The following week, December 8th through the 12th, we've got Katie seriously considering working at Spencer Publications with Bill. I do wonder if Katie will try and take Will Spencer with her if she goes, but I think he's going to want to stay right up under Electra Forrester at FC. Tension continues to grow between Eric and Ridge, and possibly between Eric and other members of the family. You know how he gets when he's sick. He gets defensive. He starts covering up. He doesn't want to be transparent, and he just wants to bury his head in the sand and carry on. We may be getting a whole replay of that Ridge versus Eric thing we had when they ended up in a fashion battle. Eric's health takes priority for the Forresters and the Logans, and is going to become the new front-burner topic that worries everybody heading into the holidays. But we also have happy news, because there is a wedding to plan as well. Deacon and Hope continue discussing the state of Deacon and Sheila's marriage. I think that Hope and her brother may sense some fractures there that they might be able to widen those gaps and get their dad away from Sheila. Once they get an inkling that Deacon is interested in Taylor, that's going to be all she wrote. They're going to be scheming full stop. Speaking of him, Deacon is going to try and figure out how to win Taylor's heart. I'm confident Deacon can effectively woo her unless Sheila figures it out and does something scary to stop it. Here's what I'm also hoping is that we do not have Katie and Eric both battling health crises at the same time. Everybody was so worried about Katie's heart, and they kept bringing it up, and I hope that was just a passing mention and something they're not going to circle back around to. Wedding planning heats up. Hope and Liam Spencer will be married by the end of December. So, watch for Hope to start talking wedding gowns with her brother and what role he and Deacon will play in her wedding. Hey, Bold and the beautiful fans. There is almost no romance on the CBS soap right now. We've got Hope Logan and Liam Spencer reunited, but we're not really seeing sparks fly. Across the board, there are very few love scenes. So, we want to talk about some new couples that would kick up the drama and bring some sexiness and heat to B&B. We are going to discuss couple shakeups. I think we all know that Bold could be more interesting. Some days it's a little hard to watch. With New Year's just a few weeks away, it's the perfect time for them to kick things up a notch. Let's talk about these 5 twisted pairings that could throw everybody for a loop, cause a little chaos, generate some hotness, and give us a little fun. Let's get into it. The first couple is one that many fans would like to see together. They're a popular topic right now. You've probably guessed it, Taylor Hayes and Deacon Sharp. I know it seems like Bold and the Beautiful is already heading in this direction, but I don't trust Brad Bell. He might tease this and then abruptly drop it. Remember when he brought back Ivy Forrester for just a couple of episodes for no reason and made a big deal out of her crush on Liam? He was interested in Ivy too, and then that went nowhere. Then she was gone, and it was so many months later she came back. This was like a year before Liam and Hope ever considered reuniting. So my point is, they tease stuff, get our hopes up, and then they don't deliver. I really hope that Taylor and Deacon manifest soon as a full-fledged couple. Sparks are flying between Taylor and Deacon, and her being his therapist really made their connection more solid, even though it's inappropriate. Taylor keeps daydreaming about Deacon, and he spent his wishbone wish on her at Thanksgiving. Taylor and Deacon have had these close moments and deep conversations, and then they had that embrace in her office. They almost kissed. The chemistry is sizzling, and even though Taylor is trying to keep things professional, Deacon is ready to fight and win her heart. I would love to see them together. I know a ton of fans want to see it too. Taylor and Deacon are a fresh pairing, and I'm here for it. Of course, Sheila Carter would lose her mind and might target Taylor, but first of all, that's soapy fun. And second, I do think Deacon could eventually talk Sheila down. She would throw a hissy fit, but eventually, I think she would move on from Deacon because she did do him wrong. She did betray him, and she knows that Taylor's not out there preying on other women's men. But then Sheila would need a new romance, right? And that brings us to the second new couple I think could shake things up. I think it would be a fun and wild twist if Bold paired Eric Forrester with his insane ex-wife, Sheila Carter. Let's be real, Donna Logan is all fluff and no substance. So, I'm fine with them backburnering her and putting Eric with someone more interesting. Sheila with Eric would be really dramatic, but they would have to explain why he would ever go down that road again with Sheila. They've been hinting about Eric having some sort of medical crisis again. Maybe it's something that affects his brain and his decision-making because, let's be real, you'd have to be off your rocker to be with Sheila. But she has a good time, and Eric was into her at one point. Sheila was his wife at one point. So can you imagine how many heads would explode if Eric reunited with Psycho Sheila? I honestly think Ridge Forrester might have to try to have Eric committed if he got back with her. Of course, Sheila and Eric do have a toxic past because of all of Sheila's criminal antics. If you remember, Eric first dated Sheila back in, I think, '92. He had split from Brooke Logan. Then Sheila found out Brooke was pregnant and didn't want to lose Eric. So she and Mike Guthrie, remember him, rigged the DNA test to say that Ridge was the father when it was really Eric. This was back when Brooke was pregnant with Bridget Forrester. Sheila and Eric eventually got married, but then all of Sheila's lies caught up with her, along with the bad deeds she had done when she was in Genoa City over on Y&R. So, Eric divorced her. But we also know Sheila is not quite as psycho anymore, and Eric being back with her would be really wild. All right, the third long-shot couple that would wake me up and get me more excited to watch episodes of Bold and the Beautiful is for them to reunite Thomas Forrester and Hope. Now, I know Liam is set to marry Hope in December, but Matt Atkinson was back filming as Thomas for Christmas episodes, so he would be around when Hope, Logan, and Liam were set to get hitched. I call this a long shot because it looks like Matt Atkinson taped for a week and left. So we're not getting a Thope reunion, at least right now. Probably not, but lots of fans would prefer to see Hope with Thomas. So maybe if ratings spike up when he's on around Christmas, maybe Brad Bell will reconsider. People either love Hope with Thomas or hate Hope with Thomas. There's not a lot of in-between, but you never know. Hope was set to marry Carter Walton, and then he took back the ring, and like 5 minutes later, Hope took a ring from Liam. A pile of fans do want Thomas back on Bold and the Beautiful permanently, and like the idea of him with Hope. That leads us to the fourth couple. If Hope left Liam for Thomas, that could set the stage for a reunion between Liam and Ivy. Recently, she went and told Liam she wanted to get back what they had years ago. Ivy still loves him. She sees Liam as the one that got away, but he let Ivy down gently. Then Liam told Ivy that he really wanted to be with Hope Logan and was going to try to make that happen. Ivy was very gracious, but still heartbroken. So, if Hope wound up with Thomas, Ivy might get a chance to reunite with Liam. They were always a fun couple, a hot couple. I would like to see it. And last but not least, the couple that could be fun is Zenda Forrester, Dominguez, and Miss Dillon. We know that Zend hasn't had a love interest in a hot minute. The closest he came to romance was when he slept with Luna Nozawa, back when she pretended to be drugged. And that was before Zende and everybody else found out that she was a total psycho. Luna claimed she slept with Zendi thinking he was RJ Forrester because of Poppy Nozawa's magic mints. But Luna later confessed she banged Zendi on purpose because she wanted to take him for a ride and see what it was about. He deserves a nice girl. But the cast of characters is so small, there's not enough love interest for everybody. But now we've got Miss Dillon, the cute little art teacher, back around. Maybe Zenda should ask her out. She seems nice, and it would be ironic since Zende boinked Luna if Zende also boinked the chick who roadkilled Luna. I think that would be kind of karmic. I would love to see some of these couples happen, just to liven things up. The Bold and the Beautiful recap for Thursday, December 4th, reveals that Ridge Forrester devastated Eric Forrester while Deacon Sharp got dirty with Taylor Hayes. At Il Giardino, Deke Sharp gave Deacon and Sheila Sharp news on how things were going at Hope for the future. Once Deacon headed off for a therapy session, Deke tried to head for the exit too. Sheila stopped Deke since she wanted to get better acquainted and let Deke see the new version of herself. Deke clearly had reservations, but Sheila hoped to show off a united family at Hope Logan's upcoming wedding. In her office, Taylor prepared to dig into Deacon's mind and feelings again, so Deacon jokingly said, "Let's get dirty." Deacon recapped his Thanksgiving with Sheila and eventually shared his concerns over his kids not accepting her. In fact, Deacon couldn't even be certain that Sheila would get an invitation to Hope and Liam Spencer's wedding. At Forrester Creations on Thursday's B&B episode, Eric insisted he wanted to be a design team with his son, but Ridge acted like they'd already accomplished that. Ridge warned that Eric didn't want to get back in the trenches and risk his health, especially when he already had a wonderful final couture collection. Eric protested, but Ridge stood his ground and said the work was covered. Since Eric previously asked Ridge to take over the company, he assured his father that he had it under control. Once Ridge got called away, he gave Eric a kiss on the cheek and sauntered out. Eric was left alone in the CEO office, where he gazed at an old pic of himself with Stephanie Forrester. Eric mulled over whether it was time to leave the company he founded, but that definitely wasn't what he wanted. In the Forrester showroom, Brooke Logan Forrester suggested to Donna Logan Forrester that whatever happened was between Eric and Ridge. Brooke also pointed out that Donna enjoyed spending extra time with Eric and taking trips together. Donna acknowledged that was true, but she also knew Eric would be a designer until his dying day. Ridge met up with Brooke later and gave her updates on what went down with Eric. Since Eric already had a swan song and needed to protect his health, Ridge was adamant that his dad needed to retire.